morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Sparks of Ingenuity podcast. I'm your host, Genevieve Noel. Thanks for being here. I decided that I'm going to stop apologizing for things, but I will make the exception of I am sorry that I haven't been totally just getting things out when I should be in terms of my podcast. I upped my YouTube videos per week, and there's a lot going on all the time, and I need to find myself some balance. So until I can do that, I'm getting to the podcast whenever, because it was my most recent endeavor, so I'm going to give it time to find its own. And hopefully by that time, I will have found balance. But anyway, today I want to talk about horses. Horses. I feel like I haven't talked about this enough, but it's going to be on my YouTube channel as well. So if you follow my YouTube channel and you're just listening to this for whatever reason, thank you, first of all. Second of all, you get the sneak peek. But my horse has an injury, which he always does. So is that really news? No, never is. But he has an injury, and I have been working very, very hard to take care of him. And I decided, I'm going to go out there every day. I'm going to do it all myself, even though it makes my life really difficult and really more impossible than it already is. And it adds just another thing to my plate, which is part of why the podcast gets pushed. So sorry about that. But I've been taking care of my animal in need. Anyway, I just decided that I was going to be 100% in and really do for him what he needs myself this time, because I feel like maybe that'll heal him a little bit more completely, maybe, if it's me doing it, and then I know what's going on, so the decisions I make are a little bit more cohesive, especially considering I will not have to be relying on someone else to communicate. It's just me communicating with myself. So I've been working on that, and we've had some issues and some ups and downs, but ultimately I've really enjoyed taking the break in my day to go out to the barn, but it has really overall solidified in me that I need to move. I need to move out to the country, because at home first of all, I have an ant problem, which I don't think anyone's heard about this ant problem. But I have an ant problem, and it's a serious ant problem. I came to my kitchen this morning, and there were ants in my sink, all over my countertops. Disgusting. I hate ants so much, because they don't really do that much harm, and they kind of scurry away, but they're nearly impossible to kill, and they're just abundant. It's too much for me. So we are having our landlord actually try and fix that issue. Thank goodness. Wow, I can talk today. But regardless, I have an ant problem, so that's nice. But at my house, I don't really get outside very frequently, because not only the ant problem, but also my door lock to my patio broke. So yeah, that needs to get fixed. I'm just having one issue after another. But I can sit on my deck, and then that's about all that I do. Really, my dog runs around. She loves it. I'm not complaining about our yard. It's just I want to be able to walk to my barn, do what I need to do for my horses every day, and go from there. That would be really, really nice. And what has been going on lately has really just solidified for me that that's the goal that I need to work towards. That's what I'm working for right now, and that's where I want to be. And I'm really happy that I've had the opportunity to do that. I'm really on board with that country lifestyle, really wanting to live outdoors in my environment, and I just don't do that in my home now. So yeah, it's really gotten me to be yes, this is what I want, this is what I'm working towards. Yeah, it's good for me. And I've been really thinking about how I do want to have a couple of boarders, at our barn, if we're having, if we have like a big barn with lots of stalls and we have the ability to have boarders, then I definitely want them. But I would want, like, for sure, I've decided that I want my friend to board her horse there if she's interested, which she has said that she was in the past, so we're hoping that stays the case. And then just, either people that I know or people that I meet that I'm comfortable with. I wouldn't mind having other boarders, or if people wanted to do, like, I want to have lessons here and use these horses for lessons. Great. Cool. That's fine. I'd be cool with all of that. But it kind of made me think, like, about long-term goals, about end goals, because you can have a long-term goal, and you can have, like, day-to-day stuff, but eventually you have an end goal, right? And for Christians, like myself, it's, heaven is your end goal. But in terms of, like, in life, I've been thinking about in the past, when I was in college, it was work to have the boyfriend, to have the husband, to have the child, to graduate, to have the job, to not need to have the job, to be able to do other stuff. And now it's, working to get rid of the debt, to have the house, to have the barn, to have the horses, to have the businesses that I want, and more children. And, that's an ever-growing, changing thing. And within that, there's lots of little goals that I'll have after that. But that is my end goal. And I was like, well, what do I expect my days to look like? What do I expect to be working towards? I will expect to be working towards more daily goals instead of, like the long-term future goals. And I'll have those here and there, but like, one day we'll add a bathroom to the barn, or running water, or like what have you. Those kind of long-term goals will be there, but for the most part, it's staying where we are, doing what we're doing, and enjoying ourselves. And I've realized that I've kind of struggled to, like, do that level of, like, enjoying where I am, partially because I don't want to become sedentary and then have no reason or drive to really, like, I want to move to the next thing. I want to do this goal. I want to get there. I always want to feel that drive while I have that goal in mind. But I also, at the same time, have realized that I don't necessarily know how to just enjoy without having that big overhanging goal. But I have a feeling, I suspect I'm going to like it. Anyway, but that kind of led to a conversation that I had with my cousin and my sister about, like, where they saw themselves. Like, where's the end goal? Like, where do you want to spend 25 years of your life? What do you want to do with that? And for some people, that looks like changing every 2 years, going to a different state, going to a different place, whatever. For me, it's not, though. So I had to ask myself, what does that look like for me? Does it look like more big goals? Does it look like more big moves? Is it constantly changing? Or is it sitting and just staying for 25 years, So I want to talk about that and then kind of encourage you all, if you're losing sight of where you're going or what your goals are, or if you have those goals clearly in sight, but you haven't really thought beyond those goals and, like, well, what am I going to do after that? Not that you have to plan it out, but, like, do I know what I'm going to be able to do with myself? Do I always have to have a goal? What kind of lifestyle do I need, right? Like, it helps us decide, do I always need goals? Or is there another way that I can, get the satisfaction? Like, that's going to determine your lifestyle. And until you find that, you really won't feel like okay, you won't feel settled, you won't feel really good about what's going on until you figure out which one of those, like, lifestyles is really going to work for you. So for me, what I see in the future is a nice big farm. I think 20 acres would be that perfect happy medium for me, where, like, it'd be enough acres to have, like, open fields and walking paths. I'd love to have a little water feature on our property, whether it's, like, access to a river or a pond or a lake or something like that, it would be really nice to have the water feature, just because my family, especially myself in general, really enjoy like the water activities like kayaking and water paddleboarding and all that kind of good stuff. So I would like to have a little water feature on our property. That's something that we're definitely looking for, but I kind of see that with a decent amount of acreage, enough for like pasture for like 6 to 8 horses at most, not that we would have to have that many, but that would be kind of where my max is. I don't want to make like a huge equine facility. That's just not where I want to go with my life. But then I also want to have like a nice area for goats and a barn for my animals and a barn for weddings and some other little outbuildings. I'd like a guest house for my family, a guest house for weddings. I would like to have, a getting ready room, a bridal suite and a groom suite. I would like to do, have a big like storefront kind of area for our pumpkin patch and our apple orchard that we'd like to have one day. And then I'd like to have a really nice home with a school craft room in it. And in that home, I'd also like to have a really nice like family living area in the basement where we can make our own bowling lane, which I know sounds kind of wild, but like I have a really good plan for it, but that's another time. I'd also like to have an office where I can record my podcasts, edit my YouTube videos, and do all the business related things for the wedding venue and for my wedding planning business and all that jazz. Those are really where my goals are. And I could see my days looking like, during the school year, we have school during the day, get up in the morning, go do chores, school in the afternoon, evenings, animal chores, and then nice nights at home with the family on, weekends during midway through February. Eventually, once I get heat and AC in our barn venue, I'd like to do midway through February until Thanksgiving, till the weekend before Thanksgiving. I would like to have weddings. That's our wedding season. So we have off from the weekend after Thanksgiving to Valentine's Day, through Valentine's Day, I should say. And then during that time, it's just, school and the kids. And then in the fall, from late September to, again, that same cutoff the week before Thanksgiving, probably doing pumpkin patch, apple orchard. Obviously, that's going to vary, but that would be like the widest range of dates for the pumpkin patch, apple orchard. And then, in the summers, obviously we're just doing weddings, and we've got the kids and no school and having a good time and enjoying life on the farm, even though it's not really a farm. That's what I see, and recording YouTube videos of what we're doing and following my life and recording podcasts talking about, writing. I'd love to be writing still, writing books, having that time, during the evenings or the weekends or whenever I'm not doing other stuff, which I like to fill my time. Still, having that me identity, and that's my end goal. I've decided that is really where my end goal is, and I could see it working, and I feel like that's where I can fit everything into my schedule without packing it too tight. Yeah, and it feels good to know that and talk about it. And for you, I just hope that you take a minute at some point to really think about that for yourself, because it's so satisfying to have and to have that feeling, and it's good. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. I'm really glad that you were here with me today. Tune in next time and we'll talk more.